So the guy who dances really well, he did the same split because he saw the reaction the crowd
Yes.
had. So I was like, oh, for real, you're gonna steal my ending move. But anyway, so I didn't want to do it then. I definitely didn't want to do it the second time around, but y'all pushed me to do it. So the reason why I did it, I wanted to, you know, put myself out there because I wanted to do it for my kids, because we try to teach them lessons and tell them you can do anything, you don't have to be shy or scared or whatever. Sometimes you got to go for it and take risks and all that kind of stuff. And so you can't always tell them that and then don't show it yourself. So for me, that was a way of showing my kids like, hey, it's okay to be silly. It's okay to have fun.
Welcome to Get Real with Alexis Jones. On this podcast, we'll dive into real relationships with real people guided by the wisdom and perspective of some of the most seasoned voices in our community, our beloved seniors. Each week, we'll unpack the joys, challenges, and lessons learned about love, family, friendship, and everything in between. This is a space for heartfelt conversations, eye-opening truths, and powerful stories that will inspire and challenge the way you think about relationships. We're keeping it honest, unfiltered, and deeply meaningful. So settle in and let's get ready to get real. Let's jump in. Well, hello and welcome again to another episode of Get Real with Alexis. I am your host, Alexis, and I am here again with my son, Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
Hi. Hello, world.
Brandon came to check on me this morning. It is a holiday, and they're going to be eating a lot of bad food today, but he came to check on me before he got his day started with his family.
That's quite an assumption.
Are you going to eat a lot of bad food?
A little bit of bad food.
Just a little bit.
No sweets though. I'm still
No sweet.
2026. No desserts.
Really?
Really.
How you feel?
I'm living. I'm surviving. I think it's gotten easier over the months. So no ice cream, no cakes, no donuts, no cookies, nothing like that. I just wanted to cut back on sugar. So I don't know if I talked about this on your podcast or on mine. So this was sometime last year when I was driving. This is way off topic, but we're just going to mention it.
They don't know what the topic is yet, so.
That's true. So I was at my last job, I was driving to work and I noticed that my vision was getting blurry and I was starting to get lightheaded. And so I pulled over and called in because I got scared because I never had this happen before. And when I went to the doctor, they ran some, blood tests, all that kind of stuff. I ended up finding out that I was pre-diabetic. And part of it could have been because I didn't eat that morning or whatever, but, I needed to do something because diabetes runs in the family. So, I kind of made a hard, fast rule because I really do struggle with sweets and eating in general, snacking, that type of thing. And so this was a couple of months ago where I just kind of made this rule that I'm not doing any sweets for the rest of the year, like not even for vacations or for holidays or birthday, anything.
Yeah.
And that helped because if I give myself a little bit of leeway, then I'll make an excuse to like, oh, this is an event, people are over, whatever. So I haven't touched any of those goods. So the hardest day, the day you came over my house for Juneteenth.
Yes.
Man, we had.
Oh my goodness.
We had like 8 different desserts in my house.
Homemade.
Some of it store bought. Even some of the store bought look good.
It did.
So thanks, Dwayne, Brandon Jolly, my neighbor Vaughn, all of y'all that brought these desserts that looked really good. I couldn't eat. And then it stayed at my house for like a couple of weeks, saying just in the fridge or whatever. And so,
you didn't touch anything.
I didn't touch. So you know what? I did not touch anything. But there was one night where I was in the kitchen and like I almost took my finger and just like did one of those like like a kid.
Swipe.
I ain't had no sweets in months. I stood there and I did it in my head and I was like, nah, I want to be able to go to the end of the year and say I didn't cheat at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did good. But
that's great.
Yeah. So
really is.
going to the in-laws today, but I'm not gonna. And they make some good. Her sister, my wife's sister, she makes really good desserts, and her daughter makes good desserts too. My wife's sister's daughter. So I'm not touching any of it.
So it'll be there. But if you survive thus far,
Yeah, it's gotten easier
yeah.
as more time has gone by. So yeah, I'm gonna eat some regular food, but I'm gonna skip the desserts.
Well, you know how I think about it is when I have sweets like you are, but I don't care about them that much.
Yeah,
I don't care about it. And I think the less sugar I eat, the less I want sugar.
for sure.
So, but when I'm in one of those moments, I think, okay, you've enjoyed sweets for 75 years. Okay, you've had enough.
You've had them all.
No big deal.
No,
I've had them all. I've
didn't
had
change your life.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. Just
right.
more sugar.
Yeah.
Not that
And
exciting.
we all know sugar's not good for you. It's and we're learning more, especially with the internet.
Yeah.
You learn about like all these different foods and how they affect your body, and even
And the more you know.
the worst part, the things that you thought was healthy,
Yeah.
and then you find out, you can't even drink 100% juice because it's got like a bunch of sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm drinking juice. Like I stopped with the Hawaiian Punch, and now I'm doing just 100% orange juice. And if you drink too much of that, that's too much sugar.
Yeah.
And if you eat too much fruit, that's too much sugar.
Yeah.
And if all the breads are poisonous in America. So Norway. So we were talking about FIFA earlier. So the country of Norway, when they flew their players in, they flew in like thousands of pounds of food because they don't trust American food.
Really?
Man, there's so much stuff that in America, in Europe, they ban a lot of the foods that we allow here. All the dyes, the yellow number 5s, like all that kind of stuff. Like they ban all that stuff in other countries, even third world countries. The ones who don't like North Korea, they'll ban certain types of like chemicals and foods that we put in our food.
Yeah.
And even like the same version, like we'll have like Fruit Loops in America, there's a different Fruit Loops for other countries. They give us the stuff with the poison in it, and they give the stuff with the natural color. I think like the Fanta orange, we use chemicals. Like other countries, they'll have like carrot juice in their Fanta.
To make that color.
Same label,
Yeah.
same company, but they make it different because they don't allow it in that country.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I don't even, that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I don't want to go
have
into.
an episode on that.
Yeah. So trying to do better, trying to eat better. Yeah.
Me too. Well, today, this was kind of a pop-up decision. We talked about it a little bit, but let me tell the audience why we're here.
Okay.
So I've started using Instagram consistently, maybe a few months ago, and I like it. I like it better than Facebook. It seems to be simpler, and it's in Facebook for me is overwhelming.
Okay.
I go on Facebook, it is just too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I say what I have to say. I post what I'm going to post. And then I just shut it down because it's like all this information coming at me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that with Instagram. So
Okay.
a lot of the posts that a lot of the videos or information that I post in Instagram automatically go to Facebook. So that's why people see it.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's not like I go there. But anyway, I post a lot of different kinds of videos. And one of the videos that I posted, or two, that really bring a smile to my face, it really made me laugh. I could be having a bad day and I play these two videos and I just smiled, Well, we went to church for Father's Day a couple of years ago. Father's Day always coincides with Juneteenth. So the first time we went, there was a park nearby and they had a father's dance off. So they had a stage. Was a well-known DJ that we all know. He emceed that first one with the big stage. Everybody knows him. I can't think of his name. He always wear these hats with the brims. Him. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll see, audience, no, you won't see him on the video I'm going to share today. But anyway, he was hosting and he had a really wonderful DJ, and they called all the fathers up, and the fathers one by one showed their moves, and it was a contest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the prize was, but we were out there cheering when your term came up. We were just yelling and screaming, your children and me and your wife, and we were going crazy. Anyway, I posted, and then we did it another year. You were on a smaller stage by yourself.
Yes.
But the same concept.
Right.
All right. Still a contest, just not as big as the other one. Anyway, long story short, I posted the videos and one of them got, how many views did I tell you?
I think it was 110,000.
Yeah, I was shocked. I kept so again,
I'm still shocked looking at the number.
I'm new at this, so I'm thinking I'm looking at the wrong number. Because most of my videos I'm getting, views, I'm getting 100, 200, and maybe more. With this particular video of Brandon, there were 110,000 views.
I went viral.
It went viral.
That's crazy.
And there are lots of shares and lots of comments, and there were probably up to about 600. I'm not ready for you to hear that yet. Probably 600 likes and lots of comments. Kept looking at it, said, what is going on? Anyway, here's the deal. People enjoyed it. They must have felt what I was feeling. It must have brought a smile to their face, like it always brings a smile. I know you were shocked too.
I can't dance, so I was very shocked, but okay, yeah.
Well, we're going to show you the video. In fact, we'll watch it together. But here's the deal. Here's what I think we'll show the video, and then I'm going to explain to you all why I wanted to share this conversation with you today. All right? How do we do this?
Yep. Hit the watch again. Yeah.
Now, who's that cheering for you?
That's you.
Of course. Mothers always cheer.
I think it's Willie Moore Jr. is the DJ.
Willie Moore Jr.
Yeah.
That's who it was. He has a podcast too. Okay, audience. So right now, as of this moment, there are 619 likes and 110,000 views for this video that you're watching. Amazing. So here's the deal. What these people don't know, and what you all probably don't know, unless you know Brandon, he's not that outgoing. I mean, he's not a showboater. He's not one that if there's a crowd, let me get up and do my thing in front of this crowd. Let me show off my moves. How did you feel? Explain to the audience why you got up there and how did you feel? Because they need to understand your personality. I've been knowing you for 45 years.
Yes.
And you're not that kind of kid. Now he's outgoing in terms of people. He's always had friends. People gravitate towards you.
I'm a nice guy,
You're a nice guy,
Yeah.
and you're you know how to make friends and you know how to be a friend.
Yeah.
So people are attracted to you in terms of friendship. But you don't have to be the showstopper.
No, I don't.
In fact, you don't even want to be.
I really don't.
So what would make you do that?
Okay, so this was, like you said, it was like a Father's Day / Juneteenth event because we can't have our own holiday, dads. You know what I'm saying? We got to share with somebody. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But, so this was put on by Eagles Nest Church. Pastor is Dr. Lee Jenkins. So if you're in the Roswell, Alpharetta area, that's a really good church to go to. I visited.
I enjoyed it.
Really good pastor, really good, great congregation. My friend Dwayne, he's that's his church. So he's the reason why we went because he told us about the event. And so we went. You bought me that Juneteenth shirt.
Yes.
That was our, I think that was our first year celebrating June or second.
The video that we're sharing today, that was our second.
Okay, so the second celebration because they did one last year. So anyway, so the reason I didn't want to go, I didn't want to do it. I did it last year. They had like you said, a bigger stage at a park, at a different park. And there was a bunch of guys. We were all up there. And then we all took turns, doing dance moves and they had prizes for whatever reason. I think I got second place in that first one.
Yeah, because they had a professional dancer up there.
Yeah.
I said, he cheated. Anyway.
No, so in that first year, I did a split at the end.
Yeah.
And then that guy,
I gotta see the split. I might have to show you the split. Go
boy.
ahead.
I shouldn't have mentioned that. But anyway, so the guy who dances really well, he did the same split because he saw the reaction the crowd
Yes.
had. So I was like, oh, for real, you gonna steal my ending move. But anyway, so I didn't want to do it then. I definitely didn't want to do it the second time around, but y'all pushed me to do it. So the reason why I did it, I wanted to, put myself out there because I wanted to do it for my kids, because we try to teach them lessons and tell them you can do anything, you don't have to be shy or scared or whatever. Sometimes you got to go for it and take risks and all that kind of stuff. And so you can't always tell them that and then don't show it yourself. So for me, that was a way of showing my kids like, hey, it's okay to be silly. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to take risks, that type of thing. And then, there's, they give out either cash prize or a gift or whatever it was. I think that second year it was like a Home Depot gift card or something like that. So, so that's why I did it. And
you did it for your children.
I did it for my children. Otherwise, I did not want to be up there on stage with people staring at me and me looking goofy. But all in all, I was happy I did it. It was a good time. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. I already proved my point. Like, hey, I can get out there and, and put myself out there or whatever. So now I could be like, oh, remember that time? Talk to my kids. Remember that time Daddy went up there and danced?
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you gotta be. You might be nervous.
Yeah, you might be nervous, but it's okay to be nervous and it's okay to have fun. I had no idea. I hope this goes viral one day.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I did something wrong. I'm looking at the wrong information. I kept staring at it. I went back to where I posted it. I'm trying to figure out what's the problem. There's a problem here.
Yeah, I was looking at it. So my first time I saw it was
today,
like 30 minutes ago when you showed it to me. I was like 110 with a K on the end.
With a K.
Oh, that's not right. That's got to be, I don't know what the definition of viral is, but it's 100,000 views. I don't know how all that stuff works. I know the more views you get, the more people it moves up the algorithm and more people see it. It gains momentum, that type of thing. That's all I know. But yeah, really.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, it brought me joy. So if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm glad.
If nothing else comes out of it.
Yeah.
And see what you don't know is not just that it was enjoyable or entertaining, but I'm your mom and I saw you do something that had to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it would be different if you were just standing up there and you had to recite something. That's nerve-wracking enough. I do that. But I have to get up there and recite something or give a speech or a sermon or read a poem, and I got to dance too.
Yeah.
Or I have to dance. I was like, that's a whole lot of attention that I don't want. So I knew that was not the easiest thing for you to do, but you made it look easy and you made it fun. So I was proud that you got out there. I just want you to get out there. My son and I had this conversation earlier today. I told him that I want my grandchildren to be free. To be free to do what? To live, to really embrace and live, to be scared and do it anyway, to do it because you enjoy it and to not refrain from doing it because of what somebody might say, think, or feel.
Yeah.
I just don't want those shackles on my children or my grandchildren. And that's why we had that discussion this morning. But that's why I was so excited when you got up on that stage those 2 years, because for that moment you decided, I'm going to do this.
Yes, I'm nervous. I don't think I'm a great dancer. I'm certainly not an entertainer, but I want to teach a lesson and to my children.
Yeah.
But here's my question. Was it solely for my grandchildren, or was there something in you that said, I did that. I didn't want to do it, nervous about it, but I did it, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, a little bit. So, and the other part, it was kind of like for the community as a whole.
Yes.
Because it was a community event. And I know what it's like when you're trying to like put something together
Yes.
and then people don't cooperate. And you have this idea, like this is going to be fun. But let's say like let's say you're trying to put something together that's going to be fun. It could be whatever, it could be something at your house or whatever. And everybody's in the room is self-conscious. And now the thing that you had in your mind to do, now you can't do it because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to go first. Nobody wants to raise their hand. If you have a small group, nobody wants to share.
Yeah.
That type of thing. I don't like that when that happens. And so part of it when you have experience and like, so me, I've been leading small groups for like years, long time.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the things I hate when it's like, you ask a question and like nobody wants to talk now. It's like, what are y'all, like, we're all adults. Like, give your opinion. You're here. I came just to listen. Well, get out my house. That's how I feel.
Yes.
And so I think that's part of it. That kind of formed that part of my personality and thought pattern. And so I did it for the community, I did it for my children, and, kind of a little bit of like proving something to myself.
Sure.
And there was a prize at the end. It's like, oh, that'd be cool to win that,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And so that was really it.
But don't downplay that. You said, well, that was really it. That was a big deal.
Yeah, I guess that was
a big deal. Even if put the children aside and the community aside for a moment, when we make this decision to do it anyway, to do it afraid, to break out of our mold, to take a little piece of our freedom, because it's liberating. I did this. You may have enjoyed it, and maybe you didn't, but I did it. I was nervous about it. I did it. Not the best dancer, but I did it. Didn't know how you were going to react, but I did it.
Yeah.
Because what I hate is I remember going through stages in my life, and we talked about kids going through different stages and how they transform. I remember when I was so withdrawn.
Mhm.
I even wrote a poem. I like to write poetry. I wrote this poem to express where I was at the time. And I said something about feeling like I was a mouse in a little mouse hole. You know how we envision the mouse holes that we saw from the cartoons.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of an arch in a
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. Yeah.
Tom and Jerry.
Yep.
And I felt like I would peek my head out to see what was going on out there, but
Mhm.
I was afraid to come out. I went through that stage.
Yeah.
So what you did and what I've done at different places in my life are the breakout moments where like I'm coming out of this shell.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah.
I hope you get something from it,
Mhm.
but I got to break out.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it has a lot to do with our podcast too.
You think so?
For me.
Okay.
Yeah, for me. It's a breakout moment for me. I am a talker, so that part I had already resolved, but the content,
Yeah.
like I'm very transparent and authentic with whatever the topic is.
Mhm.
Because if I'm going to say it, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
And you might form an opinion about me, but that's your opinion.
Yeah.
I have to have these continuous breakout moments because I need to break out. I need you to break out, and I need my grandchildren to break out.
So I do understand like what that is from the perspective of a parent and, stuff that you've told me because I've had that same conversation. So like with Joel, so he has this video that I have of him dancing at the in-laws house.
I saw that.
It's like my favorite video ever.
See?
So he was just like, we had the music going and he was just in the zone. This is like the definition of like, you're just in the moment and you don't care about anything else. You just want to move your body. And that's what he was doing. And so this was before he started developing like being self-conscious and being shy and thinking about what people thought of him. This was like, none of that existed.
Right.
Like this facial expression, he was just like,
Go on.
he was going for it. It was such a great video. And so he doesn't do that anymore. And so I brought it up to him, not because I wanted to keep dancing on video, but like, so when he first started playing soccer, his first year, like he was just free. He just played, he was just a kid. And, you know, he was really good and it's fast. And he was, you know, really like people like, how long has he been playing? Like, no, he just started. And so, but he was good because he played free, not because he was really skilled. But he's, you know, naturally athletic. And so as, you know, the seasons went on, I noticed like he doesn't really run hard after the ball like he used to. And you know, the effort just wasn't there.
Mm.
And I was like, hey man, you know, you used to like really like put the speed burst in, like full speed. Like he just doesn't do that. And I was like, why is that? And so I found out he, you know, he's a really sensitive kid. And so one time when he went to go for a ball, like, and he took it from somebody and then he lost it again, like one of his teammates yelled at him. He didn't like that. So to protect his feelings, like he just started not to try as hard. So he
Yeah.
kind of went back in the shell a little bit. And so now I'm spending time coaching him out of his shell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I told him, so, you know, we recently had this ceremony for him, like becoming a man. But I told him, like, you still have to play the game like a child.
Mm.
And so actually, I learned this from another NBA player who was like LeBron James' teammate, talking about how LeBron approaches the game. Said he approaches it like a kid. It's just like pure joy and like fun. And so I was explaining to Joel, like, you got to approach it the way you did when you first started.
Yeah.
You weren't scared. You just loved it.
Yeah.
And so just teaching him like how to like not let other people's words affect him that way. So I tell him like, man, look, people make mistakes all over the soccer field, you know, and that's part of the game. Even when we're watching FIFA, these are professionals.
Absolutely.
They lose the ball, they make bad passes, bad touches, they miss scores, you know, all that kind of stuff happens. And it's a normal part of the game. You can't let that get to you. So I do understand it from a parent's point of view. Like you want your child to like not be hindered by anything, by themselves or by any outside,
Yeah.
you know, force. And so, and that's, you know, that all played into my decision to get up there and make a fool of myself.
That's exactly right. That's the whole point. And that's really what I wanted our audience to understand was that as entertaining as that video is, and it makes people laugh and feel some kind of way that they would like it and share it and make comments on it, there is a deeper meaning for all of us, even those who watched it. Because if somebody sees, he did that, maybe I should do that. I'd like to do that. Look like fun, but I'm scared. But maybe I'll try it anyway.
Mhm.
I think those breakthrough moments, those liberating moments can be contagious,
Yeah.
which is why I do it, why you did it, and because we want, see, you know what, Brandon, you were talking a moment ago. You know, the Bible says, come as a child. And when I thought about that scripture as you were speaking, a child before the world starts to converge upon him or her, they're free. They laugh, they jump, they hop, they skip, they say what they want to say, and then the world starts to converge upon them. And then they become more inhibited, many of them.
Yes.
And so we are on this mission for our children and everyone, really. Be free.
Yeah.
Be free and know what that means because, and I'd like for you to share, a lot of times in the culture we're in, freedom can mean, well, I do what I want to do when I want to do. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that because we should always care about what we say and do that might be hurtful to others.
Mhm.
Because our position, our job, our task, our calling is to build people up, to encourage them, right?
Yeah.
And not to tear them down. You know, that old saying, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Don't. But on the flip side of that, we aren't even supposed to stay neutral.
Right.
Encourage people. Tell them you can. When I got ready to move to Atlanta, I was thinking about it, and it was really wearing at me that I'd reached this point in my life where I needed to make this change. I
Mhm.
felt like this is what God was leading me to do, but I was
Mhm.
scared. I mean, I'm a single parent. I got two little boys.
Yeah.
2 little boys. And it was hard enough being in Cleveland where I had felt like I had some support. My parents were no longer here, but I had some relatives that I knew would be there for me. But I remember having this conversation with Stanley, and he said, "Do it. If you feel like that's what you should do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think about, just go.
Yeah.
Just go."
Yeah.
So you need somebody. That's what you're doing with JoJo. That's what I'm hoping I have done, at least in part with you. And even now, you're 45 years old. I was like, Brandon, you can do this.
Yeah.
You could do this. Remember I read you that scripture in Psalm about being like a tree planted by the rivers of water,
Mm-hmm.
where you produce your fruit in its season. And I always come back to you, be a tree.
Yeah.
Let yourself be nourished so you can grow, and this just go. Just do it. Just do it. So you wanted to share something. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the verse when you mentioned that Bible verse.
Mhm.
That's Matthew 19:13 and 14. Said Jesus blesses the children. Said then little children were brought to him that he might put his hands on them and pray. But the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, "Let the children come to me and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of heaven." And so he was basically talking about, you have to be like a child. Like children have a faith that's like untainted by the worries of being a grown up and all the, all of your life experiences. And so there are, as we're, when we get older, you put, and the scripture also says you put childish things behind you, but there's still an aspect of being a child that's useful to you as an adult that we have to keep. And so just having that same freedom as a child, the innocence of a child, that whole thing, like, I think God wants us to hold on to that, because such is the kingdom of heaven. And so, it's okay you could be elderly or advanced in years, or still have a little bit of childlike, childlike faith, childlike, but in a mature type of way.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. Joy.
Yeah.
The joy, uninhibited joy.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what my neighbor thinks over there, over here, there. I have joy.
Yeah.
I just have joy. And that's what children say things, and then we have to correct them and all that. But the freedom to say it. Okay, I'll tell this last story. So I remember, I think you told me you got a report from Chrisette's teacher. Let's go. Brandon and Xanta's children and my grandchildren are really amazing, especially in school. I'm not saying that because they're my grandchildren, but they really are amazing.
Right.
I mean, they're very smart and they're very well behaved. There are no problems when I have them here. My biggest problem is trying to have enough to eat. They can eat, especially JoJo and Genesis. I think they're the main one. But anyway.
Yeah, they can eat. Yeah.
But you were telling me that you had this conference with Genesis' teacher. No, Chrisette's teacher. And she said, do you remember that conversation? And she said she was so nice, and she wished she had more students like.
Yeah, I'm telling you about this conference. Like, look how great your granddaughter's doing. She said, I wish I had 10 more of those. And you were like, man, forget that. She need to buck the system a little bit. Like, can't be just, conservative and polite.
I did not, because I don't want her to misbehave. You know that.
Right.
But I want to hear every once in a while. The only thing, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'd like for Chrisette not to talk so much in class. Or when I ask a question, she's always the first one to raise her hand, and she just gets upset when I don't call on her. I want to see some assertiveness. I don't want her to just sit back like this all the time, and she's never rocking the boat. I want her to rock the boat sometimes.
That was very unexpected.
I do. I want her to
reaction from you.
I do, because I know what that can be. I want her to be. I love that my grandchildren are well behaved and respectful, and I want them to be that way wherever they go. But I don't want them to be afraid, and I want them to see what they want and go for it, even if we have to reel them back a little bit. I want them to freedom. I want that, and I'm going for it. Okay, you can have that, but maybe you might have to wait. I want you to go for it. because I think a lot of times our children, especially our children, are afraid because we emphasize so strongly in our, especially in our culture, how important it is to be well behaved. And if you're not well behaved, especially when my mom was here, it's like there were consequences. Right.
Absolutely. We're
Right. But sometimes I wonder if we stifle them a bit. And it's really, really, really difficult to find that balance. So we do this and then we adjust and we do this and then we're at this end. So it's always this balancing act. And it will always be.
yeah,
It will always be.
for sure.
Right. But the goal is I want them to be happy and healthy. And when I say I talk about them, I'm talking about you too, because you still my child.
Yeah.
Healthy and happy and free to pursue life, to not just wait for it to happen, but to pursue it. I want JoJo, we talked about JoJo visiting his friend and he saw that his friend wasn't outside. So he came back home and you said, well, knock on the door. And he may have been inside. But anyway, I want JoJo to go and say, pop, 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 pop. Hey,
Boy.
where's James? What's the little boy's name? Where is he? I
Yeah.
want to play. Well, you get my point. And I know it's your point too. You want him to be free. Listen, I hope that in our conversation today that you picked up on what we're trying to communicate. I really am glad that my son broke out in that moment for himself. I'm proud for him for doing it for his children. I'm even prouder. But those are things that we have to continue to do. I'm doing it at the senior center where I volunteer. I want them to have breakout moments too, because those moments bring us joy and they bring others joy. I mean, I had a dance off because of what you did. Because of what you did, I duplicated that at the senior center for Father's Day. And we called the men up to do what you all did. They were a little hesitant. And there's this one gentleman in our center. I know he loves to dance, but he didn't get up. I went back there, grabbed him by his hand, and I dragged him up to the front. He won the prize.
yeah.
Yes. So there's joy in being and living in the freedom that God intends.
Yeah.
He whom God has set free is free indeed. He wants us to be free.
Yes.
He does. He doesn't want us to live life afraid or inhibited. He wants us to be free. And if we make a mistake, we fix it. We apologize.
Yep.
Whatever needs to be done. But don't be afraid to live because we might make a mistake or somebody might judge us
hmm
or any of the above.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Anything you want to add?
Nope, that's it. I'm good.
He's good. All right. Thank you for listening to our conversation. Take to heart. I'll give this a title and put it online as soon as I can think of let's think about what we want to call this. But anyway, thank you for joining us in this episode of Get Real with Alexis. And I hope you join us again. And don't forget, I need you to subscribe and to like so that we can affect the algorithm and more people can enjoy and benefit from this kind of content. We'll see you next time.
Peace.